Okay, so we're diving into this meth bust. Everyone's talking about, hundreds of kilos, 2 arrests. And the craziest part, it all went down in a regular house. Really makes you wonder. Hundreds of kilos, that's not a duffel bag we're talking about. That's practically stuffing a car full.
It's not just about the size of this bust, though, right?
Right.
It's what it tells us about the trends law enforcement is seeing.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. We've got some news articles and a pretty interesting report from, well, it's not exactly an official source, but it adds an interesting layer to all of this.
Let's connect the dots then.
Let's do it. So first off, a house. A regular, everyday house.
Yeah, that's what really jumped out at me. We hear about these remote labs, industrial spaces, but a standard house, it's pretty bold.
It's almost like something out of a movie, except this is real life. Like, imagine your neighbors are cooking up hundreds of kilos of meth.
And this is where things get really interesting, because the source material we have doesn't say how they hid it. Like,
Yeah.
was it in the basement behind a fake wall where they just stacking it in the pantry?
Like anyone's going to suspect the industrial-sized bag of flour, right?
Exactly. And that gets to a bigger point. This is how drug production is evolving. It's not always about finding those big, obvious hideouts anymore.
Makes you wonder how many other operations are hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Okay, but this wasn't just a lucky break, right? The feds have been busy.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the articles mentioned a bunch of other big busts just this year.
Yeah.
We're talking gang indictments, fentanyl seizures, the whole 9 yards.
This points to a larger strategy from law enforcement. It's not just about meth either. They're hitting these organizations from all angles. Notice the variety: fentanyl, cocaine, it's the whole supply chain.
Makes you wonder, are these operations connected? I mean, are we seeing a coordinated takedown of a much bigger network?
It's certainly possible.
2 arrests for that amount of meth just seems...
A little light.
Exactly. What were their roles even?
That's the million-dollar question the articles don't really answer. Were these the masterminds or just following orders?
Yeah, like were they the Walter Whites of the operation or more like Jesse Pinkman?
Exactly. These busts, they're just one moment in a much longer story.
Right. We're talking about a war that's been going on for decades.
And it's a reminder that for every success story, there are countless others still operating in the shadows.
So from a "they found how much meth where" headline, we've uncovered this whole trend of, well, it seems like the drug trade is getting more sophisticated, more ingrained in everyday life, and we see law enforcement stepping up their game too.
Absolutely.
Which, of course, begs the question, what happens next? Is this going to make a dent in the drug trade? Or will these groups just find new ways to adapt?
That's the thing about this line of work. You're always playing catch-up. Every time law enforcement seems to be making progress, these organizations find new ways to stay one step ahead.
It's a cat and mouse game.
Exactly.
Well, this has definitely given us a lot more to think about than just the initial shock value of that headline, that's for sure. Big thanks to you for, well, for walking us through all this.
Happy to do it.
For everyone listening, this deep dive doesn't end here. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Hit us up on social media. Let us know. Do you think this bust is part of a bigger takedown?
And what does it mean for the future of drug trafficking?
And hey, if you've got any theories on where they were stashing all that meth, we're all ears.
Until next time.
Stay curious.